Hello everyone! Besides the Alliance and Horde war campaign that continued within patch 8.1, we also have the Night Elves return to Darkshore to take the battle to the Hordes. At the start of the expansion, we saw how Sylvanas and Sourfang, they made their plans to stop the threat of the Alliance once and for all. Capture the World Tree Teldrassil to splinter the unity amongst their faction. They would seek vengeance, of course, but they would have citizens hostage. The Alliance would not dare to strike back for fear of their people. It would take them years to muster the fleets to even attempt to do so. And while that was going on, there would also be infighting within the faction. Anduin, in his new role of High King, he would have to deal with a political crisis. The respect that the others gave him, that was a courtesy and not an obligation. If the Alliance does not march as one, each nation will act in its own interest. Each army will return home to protect the lands from the Hordes. One single victory, it would cripple the Alliance for years, destroy them from within. Then they could strike peace with the individual nations, carve them away from the Alliance piece by piece. Now the Night Elf leaders, Malfurion and Tyrande, they were of course powerful and worthy targets to take out. During the campaign, we saw the Banshee Queen face off against the Archdruids, with Sourfang landing a dishonorable blow in his back. Despite having her prey right in front of her, the Banshee Queen, she decided to let Sourfang finish the job. This is a choice that she would come to regret, as it went against the old soldier's honor. He would not do it, not in this way, so he stayed off the killing blow, which then allowed Tyrande to teleport her husband back to Stormwind. At the defense of the elves, it always been a last-ditch effort. They knew that they stood very little chance against the numbers of the Horde, and while they had tried to evacuate as many of them as they could to Stormwind, others, they were prepared for occupation. When Sourfang returned to the war chief without Malfurion's head, she could hardly believe it. She blamed her own arrogance, and perhaps even the intervention of Elune. At least they had managed to take Darkshore. Victory was theirs, with Teldrassil waiting to be taken. Captain Delaran Summermoon, she had fought fiercely against the invading Horde forces, but the arrows in their back, they finally took their toll. I have failed. Delaran fought with a shudder of despair. The former High Elf and Ranger General was about to unleash the worst of the Hordes, the pillagers, the revenge seekers, upon a populace that was by this point completely civilian. Her very name, Sylvanas, it spoke of a love for the woods, of green living things. Was there anything left of that elf in this monster who was now striding towards her? Delaran would not die. Not yet. Not without trying with her final breaths to reach this woman who looked so like her, yet was so different. Not without understanding. Elune, guide me. Help me find the words to reach her heart. Sylvanas did not even see her. She strode right past the dying sentinel. Delaran inhaled to speak.
Why? Why? You've already won. Only innocents remain in the tree.
This is war.
No. This is hatred. Rage. Windrunner, you were defender of your people. Do you not remember?
I remember. A fool.
Sylvanas remembers the day that Arthas came to their lands and giving everything that she had to try and defend her people. But against death, there was no hope, no matter how hard that she tried. Her people and her kingdom, they fell, while the Ranger General herself paid the ultimate price. Arthas did not give her a clean death though. Instead, he gripped her soul and he turned her into a banshee. Later, she would regain control again. She would find her body and rise to be the Banshee Queen as we know her today.
Life is pain. Hope fails. Now you understand. Don't grieve. You'll soon join your loved ones.
I grieve for you. You've made life your enemy. And that is a war you'll never win. You can kill us, but you cannot kill hope.
Can't I?
Now you understand. The Banshee Queen had whispered into Delaran's ear before she did the unthinkable. But the Dark Lady had been wrong. I understand nothing. Delaran's grief and guilt raged as fiercely as the fire. In a final touch of malice, as unfathomable as her motives, Sylvanas Windrunner had turned the Laren's head so that the dying Keldori had a perfect view of the incineration of all that she loved, all that she had fought for, believed in, had bled for, all she had lived for, and was about to die for. The Tree of Life was now a death trap, and soon would be the site of the greatest mass incremation Azeroth had ever known. If there was any mercy, the excruciating sight would burn her eyes to blindness. But cruelly, that solace was denied to her. Her senses were at their peak. Screaming, she shouldn't be able to hear the cracking groans of the World Tree's burning limbs. Yet the sound mingled with the shrieks of those left on Darkshore. With a strange perversity, the Laren felt only coldness in the face of the scorching heat. Death is cold, she thought, even for those who burn, those whom I failed. There will be no peace. Not for me. Above the canopy, above the burning tree, above all the trials and torments of this world, hung two moons, the White Lady and the Blue Child, mother and infant, Elune and her people. The night skies once offered such comfort and balm. Now they were cold. The stars as hard as diamonds that they resembled. Where are you, Elune? How could you abandon your children to the fire? We gave all we had. For what? She was lucky. Arrows would claim her life. But the children whose cradle had been the boughs of the World Tree, they would die in agony, and worse, in utter innocence. Turn your face from Azeroth in shame, Elune. Her thoughts were daggers. You have abandoned us. We tried so hard. We believed in your love, in your protection. Her mouth was too dry, her body too weak to even spit in contempt. Her pain grew, even as the coldness seeped into her heart. In her final moments, the Laren, she rages at Elune, not knowing that their goddess had not completely forsaken them. She would in fact grace those still trapped inside the tree with a peaceful slumber as the world around them burned. Now fast forward to patch 8.1, and we see that Tyrande and Malfurion, they've had enough time to heal, and they want to take action.
I wish things were different, High Priestess. But with the war raging in both Arathi and Zandalar, an assault on Darkshore would stretch us too thin.
My people need action, not excuses. We will not languish in Stormwind while the Horde defiles our lands.
I vow we will recover Teldrassil before the war is over. But we face dwindling resources and rising casualties. If I can ask your patience for a while longer...
No. We will reclaim our home now.
Tyrande...
We shall have vengeance for the slain, and show Sylvanas that she has not won. And if the Alliance will not aid us, we shall do so alone.
Tyrande left for Darkshore ahead of our army. She intends to wrest it from the Horde herself.
I see. Champion. Our forces in Zuldazar have not yet begun their assault. With your aid, we may be able to succeed on both fronts.
My vigil
Your
continues.
aid is welcome, hero.
At least we can count on you. Tyrande's ship was last seen near the Zoram Strand. We will start there.
Anduin, I need a word.
Of course. You know you can always speak your mind.
The Night Elves saved my people from our curse. They offered us refuge in Darnassus after our kingdom fell. I cannot stand idle as they endure the same fate we did. Gilneas will fight by their side. I don't mean to defy you, but if I didn't give the order, I think Mia would charge off to battle without me.
I understand, Gen. Light be with you.
Despite being the High King of the Alliance, the other leaders, they do not blindly follow Anduin's will, and Tyrande has no patience for the Ridden. We join Chandris, adopted daughter of Tyrande, Maya Shadowsong, leader of the Watchers, who you might remember chasing Illidan all over the place, but suddenly disappearing during the story of Legion, as we took the battle further against the demons. And then there's also Syrah Moonwarden. She's been with the Watchers for quite some time now. She joined them on many different missions, and even took up leadership during Maya's absence.
Tyrande's ship, or at least what is left of it.
She must have destroyed it so she would not be followed.
On the beach, we can see that Tyrande is not taking any prisoners, but there are still Horde forces talking about, so we take them out. Well, we also search for any signs of the High Priestess. We find her bow, her Night Saber brittle, and an ancient Kaldorite tome left open on a page describing the Night Warrior.
That tome. Could it be?
The Night
Is there
Warrior.
danger?
Until next
She
time.
intends to invoke the ancient rites.
The ritual will kill her. We depart for Darkshore immediately. Hero, with me. There is little time. We will not leave Tyrande on her own behind enemy lines. Move!
What ritual do you speak of, Maev? Who is the Night Warrior?
She is the incarnation of Elune's wrath. Even witnessing the ritual to become her would put our lives at risk.
And the only life Tyrande wishes to risk is her own. Elune, watch over her.
Elune. Was she watching over us as Teldrassil burned?
We must not lose faith in the goddess. That is just what the Horde wants.
Sira, you scout the shoreline, while the rest of us head inland. We will find Tyrande and meet you at Lordanel.
As you command.
Elune be with you, sister. Tyrande seeks the Eye of Elune. It was last kept here, in Aberdeen.
What happened to them?
They tried to stop her.
This was once a place of joy and laughter. Now, only silence and death remain. This way. I was stationed here many moons ago. Look out!
Defeated by the likes of you!
Keep moving. More of them are sure to follow.
Hero! The Blight Thrower!
The Eye of Elune must be in the Hunter's Hall. Push forward!
Let us hope Tyrande is still there.
We are too late.
Ah, but you're just in time. The Banshee Queen has a keen interest in your heads, Night Elves. Make it quick. I have a forest to blight.
Deathstalk Commander Belmont is fiercely loyal to Sylvanas, and he led the charge to take revenge upon the treacherous Lord Godfrey, who they had raised in undeath. Yet, despite blessing him with his gifts, Godfrey had then dared to shoot the Dark Lady and end her undead life. Thankfully, by that time, she already had her pact with the Valkyr, who were able to bring her back, and now we see him leading some of their forces within Darkshore.
It's so hard to find good help these days. Blight it!
Stand back!
You'll die!
Ashal Thuridas!
Your strength has grown, sister.
Vengeance is a powerful weapon.
Wait, do you hear that? Survivors! Ondu Falador! Sister, are you all right? We will tend to her wounds. Free the others.
Hello.
Ashala, where is Tyrande?
She has cast everything aside. Only the final rite at the Well of Purity remains.
Ready yourselves, sentinels. The High Priestess requires our aid. Come, champion. Ashala can bear both of us easily. Maev, what makes this ritual so dangerous?
Legend says that long ago, Elune bestowed her fury upon our greatest warriors to secure Kalimdor in a sacred ritual. The strongest among them became her avatar, the Night Warrior. Our victory was swift. None who have attempted the ritual since then have survived. Elune's raw power tears them apart.
There she is! Elune! Your people loved you, yet you watched, distant and aloof, as they died in torment. I served you for millennia, but tonight I do not come as a maiden, mother, or even priestess. Now, I will serve you only if you grant me justice!
The Horde approaches! Be ready!
3 waves of Horde forces tried to interrupt the ritual, but together with the Kelderai, the Worgen and the Watchers, were able to hold the ground long enough for Tyrande to finish.
Ritual nears completion. Champion, unleash the Eye of Elune. Inashul da Elune!
You're deathly
Kulera Shul! Kulera Sin! Ashno
prisoners!
Inisar! Anodorini! Ashka! With ancient words, I invoke your most ruthless phase. With this offering, I demand to wear your darkest face. Elune, make me the instrument of your vengeance! Now we shall have justice. The Night Warrior lives within me. The Horde shall tremble as our darkness falls.
The Night Warrior walks amongst the Kelderai once again. The dark side of the moon gazes upon the world down below, and all of her forces are now inspired by Tyrande's presence, which massively increases damage, health, and health regeneration. A lot of you asked what exactly this Night Warrior is all about, but honestly, there hasn't been a whole lot of previous lore surrounding this, more so designed for this campaign.
No, I am not into blindfolds. Well, perhaps a little.
All the same, it's amazing to see the elves get the teeth back, with Tyrande taking charge.
Maiev, Chandris, prepare our forces for war. Champion, with me. Nathanos Blightcaller lurks nearby, with 2 of the Banishee Queen's Valkyr. We will kill them all. Teldrassil burned because I chose to spare Sarfang's life. Countless innocents were murdered. Entire families erased in moments. The time for mercy is over. Anu Dora! He is not here.
Your tree was just the beginning. This entire shore will fuel our armies.
I failed to protect my people, but I will avenge them. Hold. More come.
You have won nothing.
The earth itself will swallow you whole. Let us strike as one.
No. Wait for my signal before you attack. Take Blightcaller. The Valkyr are mine. Leave him to rot. He does not deserve a clean death.
Even Malfurion gets a chance to show what a proper archdruid can do. Now Tyrande, she mentions regretting the choice of keeping Saurfang alive, since that choice in her mind is the reason why Teldrassil burns. Now we know more than she does, of course. We know that Saurfang was not down with the burning at all, but that information is not available for everyone. It might actually play a part of the story for the future. It might actually cause a bit more infighting amongst the Alliance. For now, the hunt is on as we try to track Nephanos down. Meanwhile, the Horde is a little bit worried with the dark moon in the sky. The outposts have yet to be reinforced with the main force, and suddenly they're outnumbered. Nephanos wants champions of the Horde to report to him at Darkshore and help uncover what has happened, but also getting their lumber operation back in working condition and also get them some reinforcements. The Dark Lady has sent him with the Valkyr, Brynja and Signa. With the aid of Brynja, we can raise the slain Night Elves into our service. Those that are unwilling, they're dealt with. The hunt for information is done by kicking the crap out of the Night Elf lieutenants, but none of them is really talking. While Sela Moonwarden, she tracks our every move.
Scamper back to your Banshee Queen. We are coming for you.
As luck would have it, a little confused wisp shows up, bobbing up and down as if in a daze. It follows us all the way back to camp, where we then use some persuasive methods to find out what is going on, to see with our own eyes that Tyrande has gone through the ritual and has now become the Night Warrior. Quite unsettling, and we'll have to accelerate our plans before we're overrun by these newly invigorated elves.
There is one more asset to acquire. One who resisted and failed. The Dark Lady was very specific in her wishes.
From figuring out why the moon turned dark into assisting Nephanos with a very specific mission given to him by the Banshee Queen. Remember the elf that questioned why, that dared to grieve for the Dark Lady. She, or her body, is our target to receive the gift of undeath, but Sira is still on the hunt.
This is where it ends. You have nowhere else to run. Assault Theridos! Spare me the trouble and die! Soon she will be here, and she will tear you to pieces!
My, look what we have here. The hunter has become the prey. It's almost a cliché when you think about it.
No! This was not...
What are you waiting for? Finish her!
One of the first choices that we're given while questing. We can either take the kill ourselves and end Sira's life, or we can refuse to do so, which then, Nephanos, he will just do it himself.
Try not to get yourself... I knew you didn't have it in you.
Where is she?
We will raise the fallen elves into new champions for the Forsaken and the Horde. But this is where the story for both factions comes together, as Tyrande tracks down her prey.
Now that we have the preliminaries out of the way, we can begin the ritual.
Lightcaller!
Well, this is inconvenient. Protect the Valkyr!
You will not see another sunrise, monster.
How uncouth for the Queen of the Tree Elves, is it? No, I suppose that won't do. What exactly do you rule over these days?
I am no queen. I am the Kaldora's vengeance.
You are nothing. Raise them!
Rise. In the name of Sylvanas, the Banshee Queen, I bestow this gift upon you.
Sira Moonwarden and the Laren, they're raised as Dark Warden and a Dark Ranger Captain. Now from the story that gave more details behind the burning of Teldrassil, we learned that the Laren, she cursed Elune in her final moments and was not happy with her goddess. Setting foot on shore, during this questline, we saw that Sira also wondered where Elune was as the tree burned. It's definitely understandable that they feel forsaken by the goddess, but I still find it a bit of a jump to instantly turn around and then serve the one that caused you to curse Elune to begin with. We discussed this on stream as well, and some suggested that these newly resurrected Night Elves, that they don't get their free will, which is definitely a possibility. But then in later flavor text we do read that they all have their reasons for accepting Valkyr's gifts. Either way, whatever might be the case, our Fallen are turned and fight now with the Horde. With the Valkyr empowering him, Navanos is able to hold his ground against Tyrande, but she does not stand alone.
Enough! Any last words, priestess? Soon you will share the fate of your dear friend Sira and the noble Dalaran. Reunions can be so heartwarming.
Shal Kara!
You cannot hide from me forever, elf.
We do not stand alone. Now!
What?
Your end has come.
We require more time. Finish it, Signe. I will handle this.
You are too late. Behold!
You must fight the shadow in your hearts, sisters.
We placed our faith in you.
And you abandoned us. Elune abandoned us.
We have nothing left. We are forsaken.
Never again! Ashtoribas!
No! Dark Lady, I am sorry.
Witch! You shall pay dearly for that. Let's move!
I will hunt them down.
Navanos and his new recruits, they make that escape, but not before Tyrande takes out Princia. When we defeated Arthas the Lich King, Sylvana, she felt like she had fulfilled her mission of claiming vengeance, and she decided to end it all by throwing herself on the top of Ice Crown onto the Serenite spikes down below, instead of the eternal bliss that she was longing for. All that was waiting for her was damnation, a realm of eternal torment, in which she would still be, was it not for the 9 Valkyr still bound to the will of the Lich King, bound to Bolvar 4 Dragon. They showed up and they made it a deal. Not only would they ally themselves with her and give her the power to create more Forsaken, they would also take her place in hell. As long as they lived, so would the Banshee Queen. Now Anahil the Caller, she took her place to bring her back from her suicide, which left her with 8. When Godfrey shot Sylvanas point blank, we saw Agatha, Dashla and Alfura sacrifice themselves to bring her back again, which left her with 5. In Anderhall, she lost 1 to the Alliance forces, which means 4, and now here in Darkshore she has lost another. 3 Valkyr remain at the pact with enough power to bring her back, and since in the past it has taken multiple Valkyrs to bring her back before, who knows how many lives she still has left. This was the reason why we saw the War Chief make a deal with Helya and Legion, the power to create more Valkyr, and potentially stay off death forever. This was a big part of the reason why she instigated the war into Darkshore to begin with. Take care of the threat of the Alliance, secure a position of War Chief, and keep going on for as long as she can to stay out of that realm of torment.
I will hunt them down.
No, our forces gather. We will settle this another day.
Tyrande, what happened?
Lightcaller yet lives, but at the cost of one of his queen's Valkyr. The time has come to reclaim our home. Maiev, you will command our forces.
You place much faith in me, given our history.
We cannot dwell in the past, not with our very future at stake. Lead our people to victory as I sate the Night Warrior's wrath.
Wait, where is Sira? She is not with you.
Maiev, I must speak to you alone.
And that history is vast, from the time where Tyrande was appointed High Priestess instead of Maiev, to the hunt for Illidan and going on a rampage, to the moment when Malfurion and Tyrande decided to let the Highborn back into their society. Now they stand side by side against the threat of the Horde, with Maiev leading the troops during the war front, the campaign to wrestle control of Darkshore away from the Hordes. Like a Stromguard, this will be a constant battle of control, with the Alliance going on the assault first. Their final fight is against Sira Moonwarden, and I imagine that the leaders that we take on, they retreat like it happens in Stromguard. Throughout Darkshore, the battle rages on as the Archdruid Malfurion and the Night Warrior Tyrande, they lead their people against the forces of the Horde, the undead might of the Banshee Queen.
All of it?
The entire shipment, down to the last sack of grain. This one's the only survivor.
One Samdi, do not take me yet.
What happened?
We were bringing supplies to the war front, just like all the other times.
Pick up the pace! We got to get these supplies to our soldiers by dawn!
What is it?
Tell her. We are coming.
One Samdi, do not take me yet.
He expects us to believe this tale. No single night elf could do all that.
I know one who could. Ground for the Horde.
The faction war in Battle for Azeroth continues, but for this moment, this is where the story ends for now, with some very nice rewards in the form of customization for the elves, the option to change your spirit healer into Brinja, and an outfit to make you look like a Dark Ranger. Soon enough, we'll see a lot more fighting, but for now, thank you very much for watching everyone, subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, see ya!